The morning of June 14, 1985, began like any other for the passengers boarding a routine flight from Athens to Rome. But within minutes of takeoff, the skies transformed into a theater of unimaginable terror. Two heavily armed men seized control of the aircraft, plunging 139 innocent souls into a harrowing 17-day nightmare that would shock the world and end in a brutal, senseless tragedy on a blood-stained tarmac. Before we dive into the chilling details of this infamous hijacking, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Trans World Airlines Flight 847 was a Boeing 727 carrying a mix of tourists, business travelers, and military personnel. The flight had originated in Cairo and was scheduled to make several stops before reaching its final destination in San Diego. As the plane climbed into the Mediterranean sky after departing Athens, the atmosphere in the cabin was calm and relaxed. That peace was violently shattered when Mohammed Ali Hamadeh and Hassan Izz al-Din, operatives of the militant group Hezbollah, sprang from their seats. Brandishing smuggled grenades and 9mm pistols, they stormed the cockpit, screaming demands and striking the flight crew. The hijackers forced the pilot, Captain John Testrake, to divert the aircraft from its intended path to Rome and head straight for the war-torn city of Beirut, Lebanon. The terrorists' demands were clear and uncompromising. They wanted the immediate release of over 700 Shiite prisoners being held by Israel. To prove their deadly resolve, the hijackers began a terrifying campaign of physical and psychological abuse against the passengers. They scoured the cabin, demanding passports and singling out anyone with a Jewish-sounding name or a connection to the United States military. The aircraft became a flying prison, shuttling frantically between Beirut and Algiers as negotiations stalled and tensions escalated. During the first stop in Beirut, the hijackers identified several American military personnel on board. Among them was Robert Stethem, a 23-year-old United States Navy Seabee diver who was simply trying to return home. Stethem was separated from the other passengers and subjected to hours of merciless beatings. Despite the agonizing torture, the young sailor remained defiant, refusing to cry out or give his captors the satisfaction of breaking his spirit. His quiet courage in the face of absolute evil became a beacon of strength for the terrified hostages around him. When the plane returned to Beirut for a second time, the hijackers' frustration boiled over into unspeakable violence. Enraged by the lack of progress in their demands, they dragged a severely beaten Robert Stethem to the open door of the aircraft. In a horrific act of cold-blooded murder, they shot the young hero in the head and callously dumped his body onto the dark tarmac below. The image of the hijacked plane sitting on the runway, with Captain Testrake famously interviewed while a terrorist held a gun to his head, became the defining symbol of the crisis. For 17 agonizing days, the world watched helplessly as diplomatic efforts slowly chipped away at the standoff. Finally, after intense negotiations, the remaining hostages were released, ending the immediate terror but leaving a permanent scar on the history of aviation. Robert Stethem's ultimate sacrifice was not forgotten. He was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart for his unwavering bravery, and the United States Navy commissioned the destroyer USS Stethem in his honor. While the hijackers eventually faced justice years later, the tragedy of Flight 847 remains a chilling reminder of the devastating human cost of international terrorism. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.